Welcome to Jackets TV presented by Ohio Health. I'm Bob McElligott alongside of Jody Shelley. This is CBJ Today as the Blue Jackets just finished up practice and they're getting ready to head back to Pittsburgh for Game 5 of this first-round playoff series. Jody, a day off yesterday, a well-earned day off after an overtime victory here in the fourth game of the series. What's it like to get that day off in a playoff series?
Well, for these guys, it's got to be huge. You think about the intensity of these games they've played. An emotional Game 3, you go back to an unbelievable start and a disappointing finish, picking yourself off the mat and coming in to this Game 4 that they played and really didn't get their footing until the end of the first period, and from there carried on an emotional night, an overtime win. I'd say yesterday was a day to be like, wow, and really decompressed and come into today and get excited again.
When you look at the two teams, yesterday, as you mentioned, the Blue Jackets, they can decompress, but you're going around town. Everybody, I'm sure, is saying, hey, you guys did a great job. What a great game that was. What a great win that was. If you're the Pittsburgh Penguins, they also had the day off yesterday. They're in their town, where I know people aren't happy right now. What can you compare and contrast those two situations?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even for us, I mean, going around town yesterday, it's like, you know, great job. And we're like,
like we did something.
Right, exactly. But the fans embrace any part of the Blue Jackets right now. They're excited. They have an identity with and a relationship with this team they can really relate to. Now, you go to Pittsburgh. Expectations were high coming into this series. What is Fleury going to be like in the playoffs? They went through all last summer, and we said that all this season he's going to prove himself in this playoffs. The seed of doubt has been planted. I'd say those players had a different kind of day, kind of with their families. Of course, away from the rink is always a good time in these tight series. But listen, it doesn't matter. Going in tomorrow is what it's all about. Both teams know what's at stake. It's going to be a huge game here, but the Jackets are definitely on a high right here today, coming after this practice and now traveling to Pittsburgh.
On the ice today, Fedor Tutin. He came out here and skated by himself a little bit yesterday. He participated in the full practice today. That's a good sign for the Blue Jackets. Anytime you can get back a veteran defenseman, and I'm not saying he's going to play tomorrow. We don't know yet. But if he does play, anytime you can get back a veteran like that, that's a big plus.
Well, it's a step in the right direction. You know that every player has to go through a certain protocol to come back from an injury, and practicing with the team is a huge step. So great indication. If they do get him back tomorrow, yeah, Bob, like you said, veteran presence that really settles down that blue line.
Still no Ryan Murray on the ice today, though, for the Blue Jackets. He remained out. Now, in that game tomorrow, the Pittsburgh Penguins, they were basically called out by their coach, Dan Bylsma, yesterday. He said the effort's not good enough. The way they're playing just isn't going to cut it right now. What do you expect out of the Penguins in their own building at the start of the game tomorrow?
Well, the Pittsburgh Penguins blew a 3-goal lead here the other night. That is a bad sign for that team and that city and that organization. They would take that on the chin, as Bylsma did. And, of course, he's going to call his players out, call them to the mat. I would expect today would be a high-tempo, hard practice for them in preparation for tomorrow. And I would expect the Blue Jackets, and I'm sure they're ready, for a huge push at home from them and their fans.
All right, we're getting ready to head to Pittsburgh for Game 5. That will be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We'll have a report for you tomorrow from the Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh. For Jody Shelley, I'm Bob McElligott, and this has been CBJ Today on Jackets TV, presented by Ohio Health.